Alright, Anaheim Canyon station update after a year since the second platform's open. Still no ticket vending machine, but apparently free laptop, free whatever the heck that stuff is. New transit-oriented development. It's looking positively stunning. I hope it's not like $2,000 a month for a studio apartment or something ridiculous.
Hey, I thought this wasn't a social commentary.
The tracks to San Diego County are functional, so we're taking full advantage. We're going on a retreat to Fallbrook because it is springtime in full effect and one of my favorite nature preserves is there. The weather's really cloudy, so it's perfect lighting for filming trains from any direction. The other TOD still not as pretty as this one. I was looking at some old photos and apparently this apartment right here didn't used to match color coordinatedly with the station. Like, look, the yellow stripe, the turquoise, the yellow stripe, the turquoise, the white. It's like poetry. They rhyme. Except that you have to walk all the way around to get on the platform. Oh, no bike car.
Welcome aboard, Metrolink Train 857, service to Oceanside.
Our next station stop is Orange. All station stops are brief.
In San Clemente, we get a view of the cliffsides that were recently reinforced, where they had to rip out part of a pedestrian walkway. I wonder why that walkway could possibly be closed.
This is San Clemente here.
Now there used to be a bus directly from Oceanside to Fallbrook, but a few years ago they rerouted it to Vista, so that means we have an excuse to take the Sprinter, don't call it a light rail, which also means I have an excuse to finally get a Pronto card to save some monies. Stewart Mesa shot. That's the tracks that used to go to Fallbrook. Sad face. So from what I understand, if you're going on a coaster, you tap on and off with the Pronto card. But I think Sprinter is just tap on because it's one way the whole way, regardless of where you're going. Yes, emphasis on the Sprinter sign just saying tap on. So we just came like this, now we're going like this, and then we're going like this. Don't call it a light rail, because it's a heavy rail. Yay, level boarding.
In the priority seating area behind the yellow line, you are required to move for seniors and persons with disabilities.
Thanks, British lady. Foamer window. We split off onto the Escondido subdivision as we approach our first stop of Coast Highway. I like how the operator doors deliberately see-through, so you can see through it. Very nice. Transit accessible RV camping. Is that self-contradicting? Alright, seat review. We got seats, we got windows, we got luggage racks, we got coat hooks, we got free Wi-Fi. I don't see any outlets. No sodas and hamburgers, no radios, and no putting your feet on the seats. What else? Squashy grapefruit. The Sprinter is regretfully single tracked right here. Scrapyard. We arrive at Vista Transit Center, where we're going to transfer to the Breeze 306 to Fallbrook. The previous bus was 20 minutes late to arrive, which ended up helping me because the next one wasn't for 40 minutes. The 306 takes us northeast along Vista Village Drive, which turns into Vista Way as we climb over the hill towards the San Luis Rey River, where we turn right on Highway 76. Now, I've ridden my bike to Fallbrook a handful of times, and the biggest takeaway I would say is it always takes forever to get there, because it's so far away, so much uphill, so having a bus that goes directly there is a real blessing. Turning left on Mission Road, the scenery gets increasingly beautiful as we head up the hill towards Fallbrook. Thank you. We here at Stagecoach Lane and Mission Road. Nature. We're heading a few blocks to the east to Dinwiddie Preserve. Right here next to the high school. Looks like some big track and field events going on there. Here it is. And oh no, it's flooded, this entrance. Let's go around. Alright, take two. It is quite the best time of year to see this place. You come back in like October, it's all brown. There's that one bench that I like. I almost didn't see it because it's so overgrown. I knew this would come in handy eventually. Best $3 ever spent. Yes, I just took a nap on this bench, so necessary. Thankfully, the ants didn't bother me. So we're in Dinwiddie Preserve, which is owned by the Fallbrook Land Conservancy. There is another nature preserve right up on Mission, which has a name that I either can't remember how to spell or pronounce. Even though that one's bigger, I like coming to this one because it's pretty remote. It's not as bad with the traffic noise, and it is super nice, as you can see. We're gonna go do a loop around the loop, which isn't that long. We'll check in on the other side. Now, part of the reason I think this nature preserve is the less crowded of them is because they neglect to open the parking lot a lot of the time. So it's like locals only. Oh look, nasturtiums. But yeah, Dinwiddie Preserve, fantastic transit accessible nature. I love it. Come here in the spring. Come here whenever. It's great. So Fallbrook is in North San Diego County. It's not exactly its own city. Historically, it's been known as the avocado capital of the world because of all the agriculture here, but in reality, when you come here, you realize that it's one of those rural areas that's having an identity crisis as a suburban area. But there are still definitely a lot of nice places around. Like this one. One thing that's been exciting on this bike was I completely replaced the rim on my rear wheel, which I'd never done before. What happened was the rim was wearing down because the braking, and it actually wore down that the metal was starting to split, and there was a big bulge on the side of the rim, and it would probably failed catastrophically if I didn't do anything. So I got this rim and I completely de-spoked and re-spoked it and trued it up and did a semi-decent job apparently. It took like 4 hours, which I did while I was watching that Alan Fisher live stream with Miles. It was a good filler activity for that. And the sun's coming out. And I think for good measure, we'll go check out the other preserve while we're here, because that one's more transit accessible. Instead of Stagecoach, you get off the bus at Sterling Ridge. Yeah, I knew it was some word that I couldn't pronounce. Jilgueros Preserve. I think it means little yellow birds. Correct me if I'm wrong. This property and trails are not owned or maintained by the county. It is owned and maintained by a non-profit. There's your sign for that. There's your maps. So nice. We found the poppies. We found the old farm equipment. We found the nature. And on top of all that, there's this nice lake right at the top. So yeah, take the 306 down to Fallbrook. They got the nice stuff. The Land Conservancy also has a third transit accessible nature called Heller's Bend, which might have to be a subject for part 2. Hashtag Grass Touchers Anonymous 2024.